Hi everyone, Michael Rubenfeld here. So I wanted to come on here and post my response to the Polish person who was killed in Gaza. Um, I've had a few people already ask me to do so, and so I felt like I wanted to kind of get ahead of it and let people know what I think, because basically what I think is that uh, everyone being killed in Gaza is awful. For the majority, these are innocent people in Gaza who are being killed, and they shouldn't be killed. I think that the death of the Polish person is as bad as the death of any Gazan, is as bad as anyone who's been killed in Gaza. I also think, I would have to assume that anyone going into Gaza right now understands that there is a threat, that their life is at threat. Everybody's lives are at threat if they're in Gaza right now. And these aid workers, this Polish aid worker, made the decision to go into a war zone knowing the risks, understanding the risks. Does that mean they deserve to be killed? Of course not. Of course not. And it's awful. Like I said, it's just as awful as anyone who's been killed in Gaza. I just might say that there's something quite tragic about it, and it's the Polish person's tragedy, in a way. The true meaning of tragedy is when you yourself are somehow responsible for your own demise. Um, and I feel, in a way, like what's happened with this Polish guy is a tragedy. He put himself in harm's way and he was killed. And depending on how you feel about that would probably color your feelings about the fact that a Polish person was killed. Of course, Polish people are quite nationalistic and proud of that. And so they want action done in response for the loss of this Polish person's life. Canadians, I guess, are somewhat similar, but I think Canadians would be more on the side of, well, he's a stupid idiot for going to Gaza. Polish people are demanding action. They want something to happen because of the injustice of a Polish person being killed. Not to mention the fact that when a Polish person is killed, it starts to trigger all the previous injustices that Polish people have had to suffer, and people are particularly sensitive about injustice in Poland. But I do think that this man, this individual who was killed, this Polish man who was killed, knew that there was a chance that that would happen. And yet he made the decision to go anyways because he felt that he could not live with himself, I suppose, without going and helping. Or at the very least, he just felt like it was his responsibility to go and help. And frankly, I wouldn't do that. Not because I wouldn't wish to, but because I don't have that kind of courage. And so I would say that ultimately my feeling about the Polish guy who was killed is that he died a hero. Um, he died doing something heroic. He died in the line of a heroic duty. I don't think he should be martyred. I don't think that it should be turned into a big story. I think that if we want to, we can see that his act as something that was heroic and be proud of him. And I think that is the best use of our energy, personally. This man was a hero, uh, and he's become one more tragic death. And he's become one more awful death in this awful war, this unjust war, this genocide, this selfish war, this determination on the hands of Netanyahu that I think that what this is ultimately is a Netanyahu land grab, because he knows the settlers will vote for him, and he knows the more land he has in Palestine, the more land he can put settlers on, and the more chance of him staying in power exists, because those settlers vote for Netanyahu. They want the Palestinians gone. They want their land. They want to live there. They believe it is theirs. And in exchange for the land, they will vote for Netanyahu. I think that is what's going on. I think Netanyahu was looking for the excuse that he needed to rid Palestine of the Palestinians, so that land could become Israel's. It could become the settler land. I think that is ultimately what's happening, and we have to understand that, and we have to fight against that. But I don't know how. I just don't know how. I think Netanyahu has created this scenario where people are desperate and people are taking desperate measures to try and help. And that's what we saw happen, and with these aid workers, and we saw them pay with their lives, and I'm very sorry about it. It's awful. So there's my response to the Polish person who was killed, and yeah, I hope that's somehow helpful or useful for someone to hear. Thanks a lot. I love you, and let's end this war, and let's have peace.